Hey, it's Sasha Evdokov, and welcome to TRADERSFLY.com, where I share with you some insight about trading, investing, and the stock market. Now, in this week's video, what I'd like to do is share with you the sign-up process on Etrade. Now, if you want to go ahead and take a look at some of the other brokers and their sign-up process, then you can go ahead and click these video thumbnails right here. And if you want to see some of their in-depth panels, then you can go ahead and click some of the thumbnails over here. Now in this video, our concentration is going to be on Etrade, the sign-up process. We'll do a more in-depth review about the website, the trading part on the website, and then also their panel. Now, one thing about Etrade is it does force or try to really cater towards those higher end traders. So it aims to cater towards the higher end traders. And you can definitely tell this because their commissions are a little bit higher priced. Now, they are more competitive when it comes to that range of brokers such as TD Ameritrade, the Fidelities. So they are a little bit more better priced when it comes to those regions. But if you're looking for a discount broker, Etrade is a little bit more expensive. And that is because they really cater towards the customer service. If you're a trader who wants to connect with some help or some guidance from time to time, then Etrade is probably the better approach, or one of those other higher end brokers, because they have better customer support, customer service to help you and guide you how to do things. However, on the other hand, if you're trying to be more active and you're trading actively, Etrade is probably not the best bet because it's just going to get really expensive in the commissions. Now, technically and typically you can negotiate rates as you trade more often and more frequently, and as you start going and calling up and seeing if you can get better rates. So if you don't do that, you won't be able to get better rates. But in general, to start out with, if you're paying 75 cents per option contract, that's not bad. But unfortunately with Etrade, they tackle on that $9.99 plus 75 cents per contract. So to pay that base minimum gets really expensive, especially for option traders. Now, their current rate for the regular trading or for a regular stock is $9.99. So these rates, of course, can change. So make sure you go ahead to the website and just verify that the rates are still the same as you're watching this video. So in general, if you're just starting out with trading or just getting started in the stock market, Etrade might be a good fit because you can pick up the phone and you can go ahead and give a call, and they may be able to walk you through the process to help you out on executing a trade, on getting in a trade and explaining things to you. However, if you're a little more active, those commissions and fees will start to add up. Now, one of the other downsides that I did find to Etrade is that in order to get access to their pro or elite panel, you basically needed to have $250,000 in your account or fit certain other requirements. So it's a little steep to be able to access some of the tools and services whereas a lot of other brokers out there give you that for being a lot less active or for just having a lot less funds in your account. So again, if you're starting out and you want the best tools from that broker, Etrade again might be a little bit difficult to get access to the top quality tools unless you have a larger sum in your trading account. All right, so my goal for you in this video is just to go through that sign up process to show you how Etrade does the sign up process. Again, it's very similar to many of the other brokers out there. And if you want to look at their sign up process, just go ahead and click one of the videos right here on this side, and then you can go ahead and look at their sign up process. But we'll go ahead and do the panel review. We'll go ahead and look at some of the website, the interior part of Etrade a little bit later. But for this video, let's just show you how that sign up process works within Etrade. So let's go to the screen and walk through that sign up process. Welcome to the screen, and here we are on the Etrade website. Now, one of the first things you want to do is just simply hit open an account button right here, which is green, and that'll get you started in the registration or the sign up process. Now, one of the other ways to approach this is to just simply scroll down, and as you scroll down, you can go ahead and click here to be more specific, open a brokerage account or a retirement account. Now on the website, there's a lot of different things that you can go through and just take a look at their website to see exactly all the different platforms that they have, the pricing and execution that they have. So if you want to go through the website and just see exactly what it is they offer, then you can go ahead and go through the website, and then they're going to give you some insight to why you should go ahead and do business with them. But of course, you want to do your due diligence and compare them to other brokers depending on your needs. So for our purposes, we're just going to go ahead and hit that green button, open an account, and this will actually start the process. Now, I've actually already registered for the account. We've just taken some screenshots through the process, and I'm just going to walk you through that. Now, in the first page that you'll get to is you'll get a choice to select the different types of account that you can create. So there's basically a brokerage account, a rollover IRA, E-Trade, one-stop rollover, traditional IRA, or a Roth IRA. So a lot of these are focused on IRAs, but you could just do the standard brokerage accounts. And then there's also other account types, in which case you can hit the Learn About Different Account Types link, and then they'll go through that step by step for you. So for us, we'll just select the brokerage account and we'll go ahead and hit continue, and that'll take us to the next application process page. Now you can see that here they tell you that the application process takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and I would say that's fairly accurate or about true, especially if you're pretty good with the computer. If you're a little bit of a slow typer, then it may take you a little bit longer, or if you do your due diligence with reading more in depth of all the documents, then it will take you probably 20 minutes. So here, we're going to go with individual account, and that's just going to be for one person. If you want to have multiple people, then you can go ahead and select a joint account. If you want to oversee an account for someone, then you can choose custodial. But for most people, what you'll want to do is just go ahead and hit the individual account type, because that's what most people are probably going to sign up as. Now, if in your case that's not the case, then of course you'll want to check or go ahead hit one of the other options. Now, right below it asks, are you an existing E-Trade customer? So for us, we're going to say no, we're not, because we don't have anything else affiliated with E-Trade, and we'll go ahead and fill out those details with our first name, last name, and email address. And I've hidden some of those things out just because, for legality's sake, YouTube's sake, privacy's sake, for whatever reasons, we'll just block those things out, but you'll go ahead and fill those in, and then we'll go ahead and hit continue, move on to the next page. Now on this page, it's a little bit more detailed. It's basically your personal information. Now in step 3, we'll have the account set up and then the confirm and submit. So they try to do it in just a few steps as far as E-Trade registration, whereas I've seen with a lot of other brokers, they do it in multiple segments or multiple pages. That way your information continues to be saved. Now, in this case, the first thing that you'll want to do is fill out your permanent street address, your city, state, zip code, and then what country you're from as well. Now, I've already done all this, and we've actually blurred it out, but I'm going to share with you this page as not filled in, just for privacy reasons. And then after that, you'll get into the phone number stage, and in the phone number area, you'll just put in your phone number in case they need to reach out to you. You can say, check here if you want the E-Trade mobile app sent to your phone, or of course you can download it later. Then you'll get into the tax information, in which case you want to put in your social security number, and then of course your country or legal residence. You'll even get into your marital status and the number of dependents, your date of birth, all these kinds of different things that they'll just want to know in order to set up your account. After that, we'll get into the employment information, and this is fairly common. They ask this on just about every broker that I've signed up with. They just want to know to see what kind of occupation you have, if you're able to provide the amount of capital that you're saying you're providing. So that way, if something looks fishy or odd, then, it may raise a flag and they may reach out to you. However, they're not going to go ahead and give your employer a call or something to that effect. And then there's a couple of disclaimers or statements that you need to see if you need to check mark. Typically, for most people, they're not going to need to check mark these, but if you do need to check mark them, then you want to make sure you check mark them. So, for example, if you are employed by a registered broker, dealer, securities exchange, or FINRA, then you'll want to check mark that box. Or if you're a director or policymaker of a huge company, then again, you'll want to check mark that. And the same thing if you're a 10% shareholder of a publicly owned company or larger, then you'll need to check mark these types of boxes. For most people, you won't need to check mark or worry about those boxes. After that, you'll get into your investment profile, and here you'll go and input your annual income and combined income if you're a joint account. You don't have to be that specific in this area, so just a rough ballpark is more than adequate, so just go through it pretty quickly and you shouldn't have a problem. Your liquid net worth, so that includes cash, stocks, and so forth, and your total net worth, excluding your primary residence. So just really they're looking to see how much value you have under your belt or under your name, and as well as some of your investment activity. So what is it that you're looking to do, how often you trade, your experience within trading. Now keep in mind when filling out your investment activity, if you're only looking for growth in your account, then you may or may not get the option privileges. So there's some things that you need to consider. However, if you're looking for speculation, then typically you'll be able to have a wider range of things you can do with your account. So this kind of really determines the type of account you'll get or how much limits you'll have in place, because sometimes for safety reasons, for new traders, they will limit these kinds of things or your account type and what you can do with it for safety reasons. And on one hand, that's a great thing, but on the other hand, if you're educated and you're just, moving from another broker, then you'll want to make sure you flag it or mark it high enough to the point where you actually get good access to doing what you need to do when you're trading. Now, after we hit continue, we'll go ahead into the account setup. Now, in this section, you can always modify these things later. We're just going to leave things as default, which is the cash balance program. And as far as trading features, if you want to add margin trading, you'll want to check mark that in the option trading capability. Then you'll also want to check mark that as well. Now, when you do check mark those, it'll pop out what type of option strategies do you want to be able to do. For most people, I wouldn't recommend level 4. If you're looking to do some spreads, then level 2 and 3 should be a good level to start at. If you're just getting started with options, level 1 is just fine. And really, if you're at level 1 in terms of your education and knowledge, you may want to stay away from trading options unless you're just lightly dabbling in them with one contract or two contracts here or there. So just be very careful. You want to definitely stay away from the naked equity, naked calls, naked puts, and speculation if you don't understand what you're doing. So level 2 or 3 is more than fine. So that's what we'll check mark just to try the panel, the system out. Now in the next part, they'll want to know if your option investment knowledge matches the level of option trading that you want to have access to. And that's really important because if you have poor option investment knowledge, and you select level 4 speculation, they're probably not going to give it to you or give you access to it because you'll probably not understand how to trade naked options, naked calls or puts. And this also means you could, let's say you only have $5,000 in your bank account and you're trading a naked strategy, then you could all of a sudden owe $200,000 if something happens because you don't understand option trading. So they just want to make sure that you understand what all these different strategy types are, because for some people, they may know their investment knowledge and they know how to answer that, but they don't understand the different levels. They want a high level, but their investment strategy doesn't match up. So we always typically think we are better than where we are, just as natural human beings. That's typically how most people think about themselves, as better than really where they are. Then in the next part, you'll want to specify your prior option trading experience. And here you'll just want to check mark what you've done or traded before.
And we'll just go ahead and check mark a few basic things right here just to get some access. And of course, if you have excellent experience, you'll probably check mark more of them. But if you have excellent experience, but you've only traded spreads or only traded covered puts, then again, something may not match up there. So you want to make sure all things align there. And then finally, specify your prior type of trading experience. And here you'll input the years along with your experience and things like that. So go ahead and once you hit the continue button, you'll go to the review page, and that's really where you get to confirm everything. So you'll go and look through everything that you filled out. It's a pretty simple process, just a few steps. They really try to consolidate your clicking on Etrade. So in just a few steps, you get through your account, and once you're set up, you go ahead and review the information, and you can go ahead and create a username and password. So go ahead and choose a strong username and password, and then of course you have, just like with anything, the more things or access that you want, the more disclaimers that you're going to have. So a brokerage account agreement, which everybody will probably get, a margin trading agreement if you've applied for margin, option trading terms if you've applied for option trading. And you want to make sure you double check those forms, documents, and agreements and understand what's going on there. Then just hit the submit application. So after you've submitted that form, you should be good to go because now my account's open. Now I did block some of the things out on this account just for safety reasons, so the account number is blocked. One thing with Etrade I've noticed is that you weren't really able to look at the platform or continue until you deposited some funds. Now for our purposes, we're just going to deposit $1,000 to open up the account just to see how things move, and if we need to deposit more, then we'll go ahead and deposit more. So we'll go ahead and just do this check or direct deposit by entering the routing number, account number, the deposit type. So we'll go ahead and enter all those details in order to do our deposit. And once you go ahead and fill that out, then we should be good to go. So you'll get a confirmation, and you will get money transferred into that account within a few days. But again, for our purposes, we're actually only transferring $1,000, and that's simply just to get access to their trading platform. Now, one thing, just like I had to do with Scottrade, was deposit $25,000 to get access to their premium platform. If we have to do that with Etrade, then we'll go ahead and do that and try to evaluate some of their premium platforms. But in either case, once you transfer a little bit of cash, your account should be open and you should be good to go, and then you'll get access to a panel, something that looks like this, and just gives you a kind of a trading platform or panel throughout the website, but your account is really set up and your registration should be complete. So that's really all there is to it as far as signing up to an Etrade stock trading account, and you should be good to go from there. It really just took about 10 minutes, simple process in just a couple of steps, and you're all good to go. Probably the only downside is that I did have to transfer some cash in order to see the panel within the website, but hey, that's not a big deal.
All right, so there you go. I hope you found this video helpful and insightful about Etrade. Again, remember, there's no bad broker unless they're just plain bad. It's just that different brokers cater towards different types of customers, and your expectations might be different from someone else. So it might not be the right fit. Just like there's a lot of other great people out there in this world, but that doesn't mean they are the right fit for you for marriage or a relationship or even friends, because maybe things just don't match. So the same thing here. You're probably at a different stage than someone else in their brokerage account or in their trading account, and you may want Etrade or you may want a different broker. So it's important to recognize what is it that you need from a broker, and then go ahead and find a broker that meets your needs. And after a year or two, you may decide to go with another broker. So hopefully this video was insightful about Etrade, gave you some insight about how to sign up and go through the process. Many of the brokers are very similar. Keep in mind, Etrade's a little more expensive and on the more prestige side, especially with customer service. And the more one-on-one attention that you get, the more expensive it gets for those commissions, those rates, and those fees. They have to come from somewhere. So that's what you're going to get with Etrade. You're going to get good service. They have some great platforms and tools, but you're going to pay for that in those commissions. So if you found this video helpful, you want to see more videos like this one, or you want to see some of the in-depth videos that I do on my stock market recaps or the stocks that I'm watching, then click this link, and when you get there, enter your name and email address, and I'll send you those lessons absolutely free when they are released. Now keep in mind, some of those lessons, they're not released on YouTube, so make sure you sign up and get those lessons. They're in-depth and much more knowledge and information inside of those than just some simple 5 or 10 minute videos that are also released on YouTube. But if you want to keep things short, you want to learn on a quick pace, then click some of the other lessons right below here, and that'll let you stick around on YouTube and continue learning with me. Thanks again, and remember that there's more to life than financial gains. Go out, do what you love, contribute to others, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.